In a previous video, I showed that so-called chemtrails rise up and expand in volume rather than falling down to Earth. Most people outside the conspiracy community believe the trails we see behind planes are condensation trails formed by hot exhaust gases from jet engines mixing with cold and humid air. In this video, I'm going to show that planes don't create contrails and that the trails we see behind planes are something much more fascinating and mysterious than either chemtrails or contrails. It's common knowledge that in the winter, warm air and water vapor from car exhaust, centralized heating, and exhaling create visible clouds of condensation. This mechanism is also the claimed origin for condensation trails from jet engines. So let's take a look at some planes taking off in the winter to see if they produce the same visible condensation as cars, central heating, and breathing. In this selection of plane spotting clips, we see planes taking off from Moscow and Zurich airports in the winter, where the presence of lingering snow on the ground shows that temperatures are sufficiently low enough to allow for water vapor to visibly condense. Despite the conditions being ideal for the formation of condensation trails, we see no such trails being produced from the engines, even at full throttle on takeoff. These are the same types of conditions present at a normal passenger airplane's cruising altitude of 30 to 40,000 feet. Condensation clouds or trails start to form around 40 to 50 degrees Fahrenheit, depending on the amount of humidity in the air. So the much colder temperatures at high altitude would only affect how quickly water vapor turns into ice crystals. So why aren't the plane's engines producing visible clouds of condensation? The answer is that jet engines don't burn jet fuel as their primary source of propulsion. Rather, they use the Venturi effect, a phenomenon where the velocity of airflow increases when forced through a constricted area. The resulting drop in static pressure acts as a vacuum, drawing even more air into the engines. The Venturi effect doesn't create heat as a combustion reaction would. The jet fuel hoax is outside the scope of this video, but the information is available online if you want to research it further. If contrails aren't made by jet engines, then what produces the trails we witness painting our skies? The planes we see leaving trails in the sky are projections created by objects we'll refer to as orbs because of their shape. These orbs mimic the appearance of real planes. They can be observed throughout nature in clouds, lightning, tornadoes, volcanic eruptions, and more. What these orbs are and what their purpose is a mystery. The stories we're told about contrails and chemtrails are a misdirection to keep us from noticing these enigmatic objects in our skies. Applying a negative filter, we can see that the plane projected by the orb, located behind the tail, has abnormally small, transparent wings and a misshapen tail. In this clip, we see an orb flying below the sun, followed by a trail, but no plane-shaped projection. The remainder of the video is dedicated to demonstrating that these orbs masquerading as planes do not behave like regular aircraft. These fake planes do many impossible things, including flying through the sun, flying sideways, becoming invisible or transparent, flying vertically, and changing shape. In the following footage, we can see fake planes flying sideways. Notice the actual direction of travel versus the expected trajectory based on where the nose of the plane and the trail are pointing. In these next clips, pay attention to how the fake planes become obscured behind the clouds, while the trails and shadows are visible in front of the clouds. It should be obvious that this is impossible behavior for a real plane. This next selection of clips shows fake planes flying vertically, another impossibility for commercial passenger aircraft. Note how the planes appear to be flying horizontally, while the trails are vertical.